Mikey. Today we're going to make a video on the 9 basic shapes on a 3-axis grid. Many people would agree to call these atomics. There's a lot more atomics on diagonals and stuff like that, but we're just focusing on a 3-axis grid to stay in theme with like the plus sign or the X that we've been using. Now we're just adding another axis for depth. So we're calling these axes up and down is going to be Z, left and right is going to be X, and front and back is going to be Y. And those are just from your initial start, and they'll remain true through turns and everything like that, which is why I prefer them than talking about wall and wheel plane or left right, stuff like that. It changes no matter, like, depending on your perspective. So we're going to allow these axes to be like relative to the room after we establish them from our initial starting position. What we're going to go over is these 9 basic patterns, actually 3 basic shapes, and each of the 3 has 3 presentations that are going to have distinctly different visual properties, assuming you're doing them to the same audience, which would be you. What we're going to go over can be applied to just your prop timing and direction, gesture hands, or both. So, yeah, that's it. First of the 3 shapes I want to talk about is tog L, calling it tog L or together L, because with all 3 presentations, your hands and or props are going to come together, form an L, together, form an L, and so on. There are 3 presentations because your hands will come together on one of the 3 axes. So I'm deciding to call them X tog L, which is going to start with your hands on the X axis, Y tog L, which is going to start with your hands on the Y axis, or Z tog L, which is going to start with your hands on the Z axis. Alright, so we'll do it just like that, X, Y, and Z. X tog L, Y tog L, Z tog L. Alright, bad edit. So all 3 of those are going to have visually different properties. They're much the same hand path. They're actually exactly the same hand path. Just that X presentation is going to look like a circle, a big circle with a horizontal line through it. If you were to do like a time lapse of just my hand path. The Y is going to look like a plus sign. It's just going to be a vertical line and a horizontal line. And the Z is going to be a vertical line through the center of the circle. That's going to remain true with 3 presentations for the other patterns, which I'm going to go to now. Alright, this is the second atomic shape, 3-axis atomic shape I'm going to go over. We're calling this one split L because your hands are going to be split, hands and or props I should say. Form an L, be split, form an L. And just like before, this is going to have 3 presentations, X, Y, Z. X is going to present as a horizontal line through a circle, Y is going to present as a plus sign, and Z is going to present as a vertical line through a circle. And they are this. So that's X, Y, and Z. Third and final atomic shape that I'm going to give you, and that is possible on 3-axis grid, is infinite L. Called it that because at any given time your hands and or props are going to be on 2 different axes, making a 45-degree angle, which could look like an L shape if you wanted it to. They're a little bit trickier to just call it X, Y, Z because at any given time your hands and or props are on 2 different axes, in this case Z and X. But with the other patterns, X, Y, and Z present as circle with a horizontal line through it, a vertical line and a horizontal line, and a vertical line through a circle. So that's how I'm going to name these. So the first one is going to be X infinite L, and it's going to look like this. The second one is going to be Y infinite L. It's going to present as a plus sign or a vertical line and a horizontal line. And it goes something like this. And And lastly is going to be Z infinite L, which is going to present as a vertical line through a circle. And it goes something like this. And that's it. Alrighty, that's it. I'd like to mention a couple things before leaving. Each presentation has 4 directional sequences or options that you could use. So, for instance, with X toggle or left-right toggle or whatever you want to call it, you could start by going 1 up, forward. Start by going 1 down, 1 forward. Start by going 1 up, 1 backward, which you'd have to turn for, or 1 down, 1 backward, you'd have to turn for. And they're all going to have the same presentation of a circle with a horizontal line through it. Also, you can use these shapes similar to how you would use timing and direction to think about weaves or just spinning. In general, like we could say that this is together same because they're in together timing, same direction. So you could use, again, to use the X or left-right toggle with just the prop. They're going to meet there, go through a motion, meet, go through the motion, meet. Or you could do it like this, you know, they're going to meet at the top, meet at the bottom, meet at the top, meet at the bottom. That's going to be a circle with a vertical line through it. So for all of your weaves, now you're going to have 3 basic shapes with 3 presentations. I don't think that the presentations are as important with the weaves because they're kind of just contingent on where you are at that point. And to be honest, I haven't really gotten too much into atomic weaves, more just the flowers, but it's just food for thought. And I also want to mention this is all really new stuff. Me and lorq have been working a lot with it, but not without Brian and Tank from the Vulcan. They've helped immensely, especially in getting this stuff off the ground. So a lot of it is not like solidified yet, and the vocab still needs some work. For instance, we don't know if we should call this like X toggle or left-right toggle. So any feedback you guys have on that would be great. In this video, I've chosen to use XYZ. lorq likes front, back, up, down, left, right. So there's a bit of confusion there, but we'll see what happens. All right, thanks.